forgot YouTube had that error yesterday and deleted my live stream. Forgot. I had them scheduled. Now they're gone. Got to do a couple of things. Yeah, just deleted everything. Strange. Yeah, that's the problem with Volvos, Johnny. I got to get a couple of things together before we start. Sorry. Fun. You want a sneak peek? Interesting. It didn't record today's. Where did today's go? Interesting. Let me put the music back on. Interesting. I don't know what's going on with YouTube these days. Let's see if this one works. I did another one that was better than this, but it's not up there. Interesting. Let me get my coffee. What do you think? It's coming along, huh? See? Look. It's telling you, emerged 14 minutes ago, emerged 30 minutes ago. There's timestamps on everything. Anyways, cool, right? Yeah, so we're coming along. Development's working just fine. All right, so let's get on with it. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000, almost 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance, because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hey, my name is Wayne. It's really nice to meet you. I'm a currency trader just like you. I might be a few years ahead on this thing we call Forex, so just let me know how it can help. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology, it's all fair game. Just let me know how it can help. And I'm trying to get to the chat. Where did the chat go? All right, there you go. I'll move this around. I have to move everything around. There we go. I think this will work. In the description below today's video, there are links to resources available to you to help you be a successful foreign exchange small business. The key service provider you need for this small business is someone to execute your trades into a liquidity pool. What most brokers do is, instead of doing that, they just trade against you. So do you want your broker to trade against you, or do you want your broker to execute your trade directly into a pool of liquidity providers? Well, Trader's Way has several ECN options for you to choose from, but that means they send your trades to a liquidity pool. That's their business. That's the service they provide you. They gather liquidity providers, the biggest banks around the world, and they send your order to them. How does that make you feel inside? Well, you're like, well, I'm sort of indifferent on that. Okay, I get it. That makes sense to me. Well, how do you feel about your trader making money when your broker making money when you lose? Is that what you want? If you don't like that idea, like what? Your broker actually benefits if you fail? Like what kind of business relationship is that? So anyways, Trader's Way is better, trustworthy, ethical, all that kind of stuff. What'd you guys think of the sneak preview of TRADARS? Radars for traders. It's impressive, isn't it? Did you like it? I'm excited about it. We're very, very close. Back end is done. Front end is done. Security is done. So it should just be a week or so. Make sure you put your name on the list to get an alert. No feedback? Really? Did you miss the first few minutes? You'll have to watch the video over again. So anyways, technical analysis, and then you can get fundamental analysis done here. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny's like, I didn't even see it. I'm driving down the road in my Volvo. Look, if you want if you need help with fundamentals, this is the tool for you. Okay. So on and so forth. Investor Bootcamp is another great resource. Let me put that up. We have a meeting today at Investor Bootcamp. So we have two live groups, the day trading group and the swing trading group. We are meeting today at 4 p.m. Everybody. Okay, here we go. We are meeting today to do a meeting that I call the Week on the Street, and we are going to read the meeting minutes. Roderick's like a holy cow moment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Roderick, and the cool thing, like there's many cool things about traders, but we've added time stamping to everything. When did the AI spot the trading pattern, and when will it expire? So there's a time component which has been added. Okay. And so if you want to see today's live stream, I'll pop it back up. But, I have it here. Well, I guess I can point this out, but then I'll let you hear it. But notice, like, it has an expiration. And it tells you that when it spotted it, and the chart, and the strength, so it's moderately, set. Okay, so this is 7:30 this morning. Channel up identified today at 7:30 in the morning. So you can see that now it's 45 minutes old. Okay, should take about 15 hours to get to the top. It's got, right? It's got the target and everything, 108.89. Cool. Okay, and it sees a similar pattern on a higher time frame as well, which is helpful. It's the same trade, but on a different time frame. But of course, there's pages and pages. Well, I shouldn't say pages and pages. There's a couple of dozen things that it's watching, but there's 7,500 things it ignores. But anyways, so if you want to kind of get if you want to see the sneak peek, okay. Andrew, there's something like that being developed right now, actually. So I'm glad you brought it up. Literally, that's one of the things that might be functional even today. Let me, oh, I got to move that over. Okay. So pound yen, I was long this earlier off the 21, but in today's day trading group, in today's quant box, I talk about this, why I suspected this to happen. Even though I was long, I'm no longer long, as you can see. But, you know, the sort of why would I expect this reversal? Okay. I was just looking at it. Out of all the Forex trade charts on all the different time frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20, 29, 30, 31. So, TRADARS is looking at dozens and dozens and dozens of charts on 5 different time frames. So there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of charts that it's watching. And there's 31 things it thinks are potential trades. 31. Okay? Now, 9 hours ago. And again, I talked about this in Forex, in QuantBox this morning, just so you know that I'm not backfilling. Oops. Okay. And I was long this, and I explained why. So let's go back. I explained why. Explain. And that video has been uploaded to YouTube. So if you want to watch today's QuantBox, it's at youtube.com/@QuantBox. Okay. And I explained, me as a trader said, I understand that there's a potential for a drop. But as a trend trader, I'm sort of obligated to try this anyways. But knowing that I have risk up here, and you can see I drew it. Okay. And that the risk is because it came too low, that at some point it's going to want to come down. Can you see that I've drawn all of that? So it was long and all that. But let me show you. 9 hours ago, QuantBox told me, and remember I was long. Sorry, I keep saying QuantBox. Now this is traders.co. Okay, rising wedge breakout 9 hours ago. So this was last night. Okay, that it could drop to 190.20. And you see it drew the chart. It drew the breakout. It's drawn the target. Isn't that cool? And I have the same thing, but I don't look at this as the same way. I don't look at it as a rising wedge. I don't trade like that. But I don't disagree with it. In fact, I do agree with it. And it says 190.20, and then I look at what I have drawn, and it's not that far different. In fact, it's almost exactly the same. So now I can actually go in and make some adjustments here and point my pivots, my bias pivots bearish, and then remove my fib. My Fibonacci was part of the recognition of reversal. And look at this, guys. Okay, so traders doesn't use pivot points the way I pivot. It doesn't use pivot points. I use pivot points. Okay, so let me get some of this stuff out of the way so it's less distracting. I got to delete. Okay. But when you use pivot points, it says 190.21 and trader says 190.20. There's a 1 pip difference. Completely different methodology. But it's nice to, when I see something and I'm like, okay, I'm a bull, I'm a trend trader and it's been bullish, but I recognize because of how far it's pulled back into this move that there's a higher probability of price action changing directions. Okay, that's from my 20 years of trading experience. I realized that this drop relative to this low is too low, which then creates a higher potential for reversal. And then trader says for a different reason, and it's measuring something differently, something that kind of looks like this. I'm like, that's not how I would do that, but I would do, right? You see, like, what I'm trying to get at is I agree with it, but for different reasons. And it took me 20 years ago to have those spidey senses of like, ooh, this is setting up for a reversal. And now you have a full-time technical analyst working for you. And my technical analyst told me that was a possibility and I should be concerned with it. And then I say, well, I agree with that too. I see it, but I also see it, but for a different reason. So do I just trade it because trader sees it? No. Because it's just simply pattern recognition. It doesn't predict future results. It only understands past, but it can do it statistically. But when you put it with your own decision-making process, boy, is it helpful. Right? To never miss a trade, huh? Okay. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So anyways, we'll move on. So I've had to adjust. I was long. I knew my risk. And traders.co was correct. Thank you, TRADARS. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll show you, like, it does stocks too. Here's the trade of the day for, or not the trade of the day, there are many, but I'll give you a little snippet. That's how it looks at Google today. What do you think? It noticed it yesterday. Movement forecast for the next 2 days towards 133.23. Draws the arrow, draws the profit taking zone, has an expiration date, price, stop level. It's all there. It's pretty. Yeah. I mean, gorgeous, right? Anyways. All right, so anywho. Yes, actually, that is actually a good point. I wanted to bring that up today, actually, so thank you. I have too many pages open. I'll delete that one. I'll delete that one. And I'll get rid of that. Okay. I have to find it. There is a really good tool. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sorry, I'm on my other part of the screen. The question is, what about news? Like durable goods. All right, let me find it. That's not the right tool. I have to find links to all these things. Too many things going on. Let me find a link over here from the developer. You sent me a new link. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see if we'll load up. All right, so we're mucking around with things. So this is incredibly, horribly ugly. It's a placeholder. All right. So we're working on this. So let me show you durable goods in 7 minutes. 4 symbols affected. You see it's actually buzzing. Bzzz, bzzz. Durable goods. It's coming up. The next one is tomorrow's GDP. Okay. All right. Let's go into here. Okay. And it only sees patterns if the actual is less than expected. 80% chance of Kiwi dollar up. 80% chance of USD CAD down. Okay. Results here are all over the place. So we could look at this one. And, right? And so it's funny, it's less than the negative number. So that's a little confusing. But hey, you know, you're not supposed to have negative numbers. So anyway, so look at this. You can go through the history of what happened based on this news event in the past. Isn't that neat? It's showing you how it got to that decision. Oh, wait, did it already come out? Oh, I'm sorry. That's why. Sorry, I lost track of time. So it already came out. So it came out 9 minutes ago. And it's saying under this circumstance, this is what's happened in the past. So we could go to, since it was looking at Kiwi yen, Kiwi dollar. Why don't we go to the dollar pairs? Sorry about that. And we go to a 5-minute chart. Okay. So TRADARS, this is our, yeah, don't look at it. It's ugly. I know. Just look at this component. It's saying 80% chance Kiwi dollar goes up for a while. And the first candle was green. And of course, you knew that before it came out. Okay, that's why it only showed you that situation. So let me go back just so you can see this. So what it was saying is, so let's go to like tomorrow's GDP. The way this tool works is it says, okay, if actual is less, if actual is greater, or if actual is as expected. Okay? Equal, greater than, or less than. And then it looks at GDP quarter over quarter going over the last year, and then analyzing on multiple time frames what these pairs tended to do, and then shows you the results. And then how does it get to this result? Well, it'll actually show you. Okay? Cool. Now, this hasn't happened yet, right? Now, when it happens, it deletes everything that didn't happen and then only shows you what actually happened. So you can actually get the news result here, pa-chow, and then it deletes all the other things and says 80% probability up, 80% probability down, 80% probability down, 80% probability up on different time frames. And it just, so this is going to be a premium tool, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, for those that are trading volatility. Because that takes a lot of processing power. Cool though, right? It's good to have it. Good to have it. All right, let me get the chat back. Where'd the chat go? Okay, cool. So anywho, it's nice. Let's take a look at the stock market, which is going to be the thing to today, right? Stock market, yeah. What's going to happen? Will the stock market go up? Will the stock market go down? So I'm hoping by next week that front-end website, which is ugly as sin right now, will be fully updated and usable for you. So the guts and the brains are done, and it's working, as you can see. And it's getting all the data in real time. But we have historic data going back years. I think it's really cool that you can just quickly go through all the news events and go back a whole year. What happened in December? What happened in November? What happened in October? And pull up the charts and look. I mean, you got to think about it. It's got all that data. It's sitting there and it's got all that data. It's got a screenshot of every chart on every major news event. But the other thing is, out of the other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of news events that had no consistent pattern, it ignores all of that. Like, think about it. The ignoring all the useless information is probably the most important information it gives you. Do you ever get kind of lost in like what's important and what is not important? What should you pay attention to and what should you ignore? That's one of the most difficult parts of being a trader, isn't it? Well, I fixed that problem. You're welcome. So this is going to be very important today, huh? YouTube is weird the last few days. I'm looking at what you guys see. I don't know if you just see it now, but there's a lag, like 3 or 4 minute lag. Wowzer. So I don't know if what I see is lagging or if in 4 minutes you're going to hear what I hear right now because I'm speaking to you. Is there really a 4-minute lag? Wow. I mean, it might be bigger than that. Yeah, YouTube's had some problems the last few days. All right, so anywho, whatever. YouTube. Okay, anyways, trying to ride that 5, make a higher high, head up to target. We're almost there. The big mover, obviously, is on the side of Bitcoin. Where's my Bitcoin? Where's my Biddy? Did I get rid of Biddy? No, here's the Biddy. Look at Bitcoin today. Just insanity. There's the trade plan I created for you last week. You're welcome. You're welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that back up. I did want to check it. I guess I can show you what I'm doing. Sorry about the ugly theme and all that. Okay, Canadian GDP important. ISM coming out on Friday. Okay, next week, Bank of Canada is going to have their interest rate decision. Next Friday is non-farm payrolls. Okay, and not till March 12th do inflation rate. Now you're like, but wait, Wayne, there's other things on the calendar besides these. Okay, these reports have moved in a predictable fashion in the past. Not only does it have volatility for you news scalpers. Now think of it. If you're a scalper and you like trading the news because of the volatility, this is your scalping tool. Okay, this is a scalping tool. It's not a calendar. It tells you which news events provide volatility and a predictable pattern. Or I shouldn't say predictable, consistent pattern in the past. So this will be a must-have. Because the funny thing is, there's a lot of things that move based on, let's say, Canadian GDP that's not the Canadian dollar. And very often what you find, hidden gems, okay, you'll find things that move like pound dollar has a high probability of up if the actual is greater than expected for the Canadian dollar over a couple of days, 80% of the time in the past. And sometimes what I have found is just weird, unusual relationships between news events and currency pairs. And so like you might find some of these, you're like, okay, well, I want to trade Japanese consumer confidence, or I want to trade Australian GDP. And you'll find an unusual relationship that you were just not expecting. A lot of 85s here, 85s, 80%. So you can go looking for your vol. Look at these 80% moves under the right conditions. And then look at up and then down. I mean, really interesting patterns, right? So for you guys that are scalpers, high volatility event-driven strategies, sorry, you don't prefer the word scalper, this tool is going to blow you away. Blow you away. Blow you away. Because it'll go all of a sudden, boom, greater than expected, 80% chance of up, go, go, go. And it gives you time frames so you can scalp long for 2 hours. In the 2-hour window, you should take profit. And then you can go back in time and see all the scalps from the past and start looking at it going, yeah, I'm going to go for a few more pips because I know there's a high probability that this scalp's going to be worth, it'll go up for an hour or two versus 15 minutes. Because you can go back and look at all the scalps in the past and go, yeah, this goes up. This seems to always go up for 2 hours. So you stay with it longer than you would normally stay with it, and the probability is in your favor. Past performance does not predict future results, but it's good to know this information. So anyways, enough. But blow you away, bro. So Bitcoin, big move. Big move. Yesterday we were at 51. Earlier today we were at 57.5. Holy smokes. More than a 10% move. That's a good day, son. Let's go through dollar pairs. Today is gonna be the day. Gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow. All right, well, this is not working. For those that love the double negative, I don't even know if it's a true double negative. I have it going up, but it's not going up. But at the same time, it's not falling. Cool, right? Okay, caught on that pivot point though, huh? Look at it react. Very, very, very important. Okay, definitely didn't like that. Whack, 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 whack. So you're going to do a trap and break? What's your strategy? Do 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 do. Okay, are you going to trap and break maybe from the top here? What's your strategy? What do you got going? Yeah. I think it's interesting, but Trader says ignore it. Well, that's good to know. All right, so we'll move to another one. Euro's very similar to me. I have it climbing the 21. This was a swing trade the other night. On Sunday, I had this as a swing trade. And the target is up there. Hang on. That's Commissioner Gordon. Ooh. Ooh, I got some dividends today. 2 dividends. Yeah, today is payday. Sweet. Emotion. Yeah, today was payday. Got some dividends. Nice. So what do you think? Is this going to continue the pattern up? We are still caught on the shorting pivot, so we don't know if there's bears there. Or we should assume there are some bears fighting back, as you can see here. All right, we have a couple of wicks here, and then we had a first attempt yesterday. So there are some bears, for sure. If the stock market has a bad day, if we have a drop in mind today for the stock market, then yeah, that probably comes down and bears might be in control. We might be in this situation where we're topping out and then the actual target's going to be down here at 107. We're going to need to regroup and adjust. Does that make sense? Feel the way I do about you now. So the developers say I might get a New York market open email from TRADARS today. They said they were having problems. The AI was fighting back, but they say they think it might write me an email today, pre-market open, including what Forex things to be watching, the news calendar, so on and so forth. So I wonder if it'll work. I wonder if the AI will wake its ass up and write me an email. But nobody knows until it does it. It's weird doing AI, right? You're like, we don't know what it's going to write or if it'll write, but we think it's going to write something. But we won't know until it writes something or it doesn't write something. You're like, wow, it's weird. It's a weird technology. So we have the down here and then the up. We'll see. Part of this had to do with, I mean, do you guys remember doing this, or did I do this in the, well, we might have done this in the swing trading group. Where'd my drawing tool go? Where's my, did I kill it? I don't see my drawing tool. Oh no, I see it. All right. Here's where we are. Here's the conundrum. And it's good to know the conundrum. If you don't know there's a conundrum, then you're not in tune with reality. All right. This is bears selling for the year. Guess we should make that red, huh? Okay, this is bears selling for the year. So there are traders and investors that have made their decision for the year, and it's already in play. And then this, as I've drawn, are investors that have made their decision for the year, and they're buyers. Everything else you see is nonsense. Okay, these are freight trains, and you're on the train tracks. You don't even know that this is happening. But that's where sellers would sell. That's where buyers would buy. And the rest is just volatility, and you're getting run over. If you're simply trading a 15-minute chart and you're like, what's happening today? What's happening today? You're missing the whole point of like, today? What do you mean today? Okay, you're missing what the market is actually doing. Okay, you're not playing the right game. You're not in the game. And that's all I'm trying to point out, that you need to recognize what the play, you got to recognize what the game is, what the rules of their game are, and then which team is in control in the moment. Okay? So that you can discern in the future. Okay, oops, I guess I got to change color. In the future, what's the potential for this to happen? Actually, quite high. So you have to understand the context of where you are in the map. If there are bears, this is what they're going to do. And I know there are some bears. We don't know what the majority is, but bears are existing. Bears do exist. And at the very least, something is going to happen here. Even if it's wrong, at some point, okay, like if that's the future, then this is the little dipsy-do. Bulls will buy a dip. But if the majority of the market is bearish, then that dip becomes a lower low. But what about all this stuff in the middle? Well, for, institutional investors, they're reloads. Okay? And then this would be a reload. And then there would be a future reload. So you get like this. You get your three-wave correction, and then okay? That is from the bearish point of view, that's what is going to happen. Now, being a retail trader, if you don't see that, and you're trading inside these little wicks every day, you're trading the little up and down of every little candle. You're not even trading the daily candles. You're trading the volatility that creates these candles. You're getting slaughtered in this. And what I'm trying to get across is that if you're getting slaughtered in price action like this, it's because you're trading in a dead market like it's not a dead market. And a dead market is a risky market. And I implore you to step back and find out where on the map you are, but you should also understand where we're going. It'll help you. Once you understand where you are and where we're going, you could then say, today you're buying a dip and you're taking it north, and that should last a day or two, and then you have a couple of days down, and then next week we'll probably head up. And then if we hit this, you should be terribly, terribly, terribly prepared for a change in direction. Which means if you made money being long this week, you don't give it back next week. Okay? And you filter out all the other stuff. So I hope I bring clarity. I hope I preach a message that comes across clearly, and that is, you'll never know the future. So you should stop trying to figure out the holy grail of knowing tomorrow. What you need to focus on is, how do you control your behavior? How do you get clarity on your behavior? And that is, you set this, which is called a strategy. You're a buyer this week. Well, good for you. And where are you concerned? When would you stop buying? Ooh, right around 109. Okay. Cool. And this dictates your behavior. You're probably going to buy dips until we get to 109, and then you're going to look for reversal patterns that will take us around. And the potential of that pattern, by the way, is 103. So you might be selling at 109 going for 103. All you need to do is be a bear. But you probably won't be a bear this week. If things continue as is, you'll be a bear next week, but you might be a bear till the end of the year. Okay? I see a comment here, dollar quiet. No, it's not the dollar. Okay, let me give you information worth, I don't know, we'll just say at least $79 a month. Here's QuantBox. It's $79 a month. Let me show you what's one piece of information definitely worth $79 a month. If all you did was use this one page on QuantBox, you would get more than that value is worth. That is not a sales pitch, by the way. If you don't know stuff like this, my guess is you're going to lose money. Forget about making money. If you can't read the market, you're going to lose money. You're going to blow up your trading account because you have no underlying clue of what's actually happening. So here's one page worth $80 a month. Okay, someone made a comment here of dollar quiet. No, it's not. Okay. VIX is down 13%. That's good. Yields are stable. That's neither good nor bad. S&P 500 is up. That's good. This is over the last 7 days. But dollar index is flat. That's neither here nor there. So that's one, as you said, dollar's quiet, but that's not the issue. That's part of the issue. Yen is also flat. And gold is slightly down. Okay, but you can look at this on a monthly point of view. VIX is up over the month, but not enough to be worrisome. Okay, yields are up. That's not good. S&P 500 is up. Well, that is good. Dollar over the last 30 days. Dollar's flat. Neither here nor there. Yen is weak. Well, that's good. Okay, gold, you add it all up. You know what it means? Here's the news. It's not that the dollar is flat. Okay. Where's the reset button? I'll have to do it old school. Sorry. Oh. How do I reset it? Where's the reset button? I forget where the reset button is. I probably have to get out of here. There's a reset button somewhere. There we go. There we go. All right. The issue is nothing is happening. It's not just the dollar is benign. It's that when you look at a basket of currency, a basket of assets, and correlate them to markets that are risk on or markets that are risk off, which means a trend. And then you look at those baskets and the correlation of those baskets on 3 time frames, there's absolutely nothing happening. And the most likely opportunity that you're given is going to lead to a loss. This one page is worth a very significant amount of money. $80. Okay, look, if you have a couple of grand in a small trading account somewhere, okay, it's worth $80. If you're trading 10 grand, if you're trading 100 grand, if you're trading $1 million, this is exponentially, incredibly valuable. You're saving thousands of dollars a month by not doing shitty trades, pardon my French. Forcing trades that don't exist. I mean, square peg into a round hole? No, you're trying to squeeze a square peg and there is no hole. What is it that you're doing? Okay, so please use the tools and please be informed so that you know what you're doing in the context of reality. There are things happening, but they're by and large an illusion. Maybe things will change in the future. Huh? Maybe they stay the same all the way till the June Fed meeting when they finally cut interest rates. I don't know. But you should keep your powder dry right now. And if you're trend trading like normal, you're going to get inconsistent results. And then, of course, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't expect the inconsistent results. So therefore, you start changing what you're doing because you think what you're doing is wrong. Therein lies your bankruptcy. You're doing the right thing in the wrong market conditions. If you start changing what you do, you're going to become an inconsistent trader within an inconsistent market, and there's no mathematical chance, none, that you're going to get consistent results. You've just ruined your career, not because you're not a good technical analyst, but because you're making poor fundamental decisions. You think your technicals are going to save you from the fundamental reality, and it's just not that true. It's just not true. Now, you might pick up some very small time frame trades, but they're going to come and go. They're going to come and go. Okay. Kiwi dollar. How do you read this chart? Okay, this is where bulls are buying. This is where bears are selling. So what are we doing now? I don't know. Nothing. Okay, if you were a bear, you sold it here, right? If you didn't sell it there, you have a basic lack of knowledge of technical analysis. That's easily fixed. I wouldn't be worried about that. Okay? Oh, that we can fix. No worries. Okay, cool. But nothing has happened for 24 hours. Nothing. Huh. All right. So I would say, boy, wouldn't it be interesting if these guys take over and we start getting a move this way? Well, you should be aware that that might happen. Technically or statistically, that's unlikely in the moment. But if it makes a higher high, higher low, you could take that chance. But right now, it seems like this is the play, isn't it? Okay. Thedo, I appreciate that. Yeah, I love technical analysis. Okay, I love it. Where I think most traders, even professional traders, I think where most traders go wrong with technical analysis is they implement trading strategies at a time when fundamentally the trend has paused. We'll just say paused. I'm not even talking about reversals. Okay? Markets very rarely reverse. That's why I don't counter trend. So they trend, then they pause, what we call a consolidation, and then they trend. And what happens is you make money when it trends, and then you lose money when it stops trending. That's the most common thing. So wouldn't it be nice to know when you should pause your trend trading? Yeah, well, you should. Most people give back their profits when they apply a strategy that's inappropriate for market conditions. And it's so common. I wrote about it in my book in 2007 when I wrote the book, even 2006. And then it was published in 2008. And it's all about lining up your trading strategy with market conditions. Strategic and tactical Forex trading. So you have to have a strategy, but you have to have good tactics too. And I think it's a failure as a trader, and I include myself in this. I'm not I'm not a perfect trader. But where our failures lie is usually when we're trend trading at a time when the trend is pausing. It's not the reversals and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So know when to hold them, know when to fold them. I'm not saying walk away. I'm just saying Trade, 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 stop trading, stop trading, stop trading, trade, 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 stop trading, stop trading, right? That kind of thing. Now, Frank says, hey, what do you think about the Kiwi interest rate decision? Well, my AI, my artificial intelligence, has looked at interest rate decisions by New Zealand. Now, it doesn't look at it the same way that you and I would. So you're going to say, hey, there's an interest rate decision and there's a monetary policy report being released. So it's actually two different things, the decision, but also the report. That's how we would look at it as a human. And if you were a fundamental analyst, you would say, well, I could guess on what they're going to do, but I'm more interested in the data. Great. Now, my AI has looked at it from a different point of view than me. I'm a portfolio manager, so that I would look at it fundamentally. TRADARS.co only looks at technical analysis. So it doesn't discern the difference between an interest rate decision with a report and an interest rate decision without the report. It's just, look, it's a news event. And it goes back and says, what days in the past did this news report come out? Right, Frank? So it just goes through all of them. And then it looks at what was released, what wasn't released. And then it tracks over a 2-hour period, a 4-hour period, a 12-hour period, a 1-day period, and a 2-day period. So what is that? 2, 4, 12, 24, 48. So it looks at the last 12 of those reports, Frank, and it looks at, I think, about 8 currency pairs. So that's 5, right? So that's that report times 12 times 8. You get it? On 5 different time frames. So now you have to multiply that by 5. So now it's looking at, probably close to, let's say, 100 examples. It's actually probably more, 200 examples of what has reacted to the New Zealand interest rate decision over the last 12 months. It's looking at 200 charts. And do you know what it found, Frank? No consistent volatility. So there will be volatility, Frank, but according to statistical analysis of 200 charts, or whatever the number is, there isn't a consistent pattern, so therefore it says, don't worry about it, Frank. Sleep in. Go to bed early. Don't stay up late. Is that useful information? Faux shizzle. Like, oh my God, right? Oh my God. Okay, so let's say it looks at 8 currency pair, looks at 12 New Zealand interest rates over the last year on 8 currency pairs. Okay, on 5 time frames. So it looked at 500 examples of New Zealand interest rate decisions, and its conclusions statistically, having analyzed each one of these charts, not just individual, but comparative. So now if you really do the comparative stuff, there's another level. Like it's actually when you do this versus that versus that versus that versus that. So it's tens of thousands. But anyways, let's just say at the very least, Frank, it looked at 480 charts and it said, don't worry about it, Frank. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's going to move. It's going to do something, but there's no reliable pattern over the last year. So skip it. Remember, I want you to look at traders.co like your full-time technical analyst working for you as the fund manager. If you want to trade like a hedge fund, this is simply your technical analyst doing work for you all day, every day. And then every morning, let's say when you wake up and you log in, it's like, oh, Mr. Frank, it's good morning. Here's my report. I looked at 7,500 charts, and I've done technical analysis on all of them. And here's the 22 I think you should be watching today. Now you look at those and say, ooh, not interested, not interested. I don't even trade that, so I'll pass. Don't really care about nat gas. Okay, so now you're down to like maybe the 10 or 12 that you're like, ooh, okay, let's take a look. And then you open up your chart. How does this fit with your fundamental bias? How does this fit with your analysis of trend? How does this fit with your strategy? Are your strategies based on the daily chart? And you're buying a dip on the 21? Or are you stuck on a 15 doing here? Like, how does this like compare to what you're doing? And you, out of the 12, you might pass on them, but you might have 3 or 4 that line up now with what you intend to do as a portfolio manager. And now you got your 4 trades of the day. And you know that there's at least sound technical analysis backed up statistically through past performance analysis. Statistically, how many times did this pattern on this, work? Okay? And then off you go. Now you can be a trader and you're like, I'm going to focus on these 4 pairs today. And you might be in the business of today or the next day buying dips because you're a bull. Fundamentally, you're a bull strategically. You're a bull because technically it's bullish and exhibiting bullish characteristics. And it's a useful tool. It's like hiring staff. If the technical analyst is going to be making decisions on trading, then the fund doesn't need you. So you're fired, and they'll promote the technical analyst. So it's just a junior associate who works for you. Right? Oh, Miss Ayla, I worked all night doing all my charts for you. So here's what I think you'll be interested in today. And you're like, yeah, this is good, but not this. Pass. This looks all right. I'll investigate further because I'm the boss. Okay? If you use it that way, you're going to be successful. Yeah. Why thankful? How helpful? I'll buy you a latte. Here's a nickel, kid. Oh, my son reminded me. He was like 5 or 6 or 8 years old. I can't remember, but he reminded me. I asked him to do something for me, and I'm like, I'll pay you if you go do this thing for me. Forget what it was. I don't even remember what it was. So simple, like go get me a beer out of the fridge, right? Something like that. And he comes back and he gives me the beer and I give him a nickel. And he's like, a nickel? I thought I'd get $1. I said, well, here's your lesson. You need to negotiate up front. I did that to my kid. And he brought it up the other day. He's like, what? He's like, I still remember that. He's like, I was so mad that I thought I was going to get $1. I'm like, I never said anything about $1. I'm like, you need to negotiate better, right? So anyways, yeah. Good job, analyst. Here's a nickel. Here's my advice. Huh? Save your money. Dude, my son is so good with money. It's ridiculous. He's going to take over the world. He's so good with money. It's amazing, huh? My estimate, just if he had a regular job, let's say he has a regular job, he's a smart guy, let's say he gets a job, he's going to make a couple $100,000 a year, he's going to retire with $25 million. Yeah. Well, I want to grow long silver hair and live in the redwoods. Yeah, I hired a woman that was the first actual employee at Netscape. Mark Andreessen and Jim Clark hired her. So she was employee number 3. But the other 2 were just founders, really. And a year or 2 goes in, and Jim Clark, he wants to take Netscape public because he wanted to buy a boat. He wanted to buy a yacht, the world's largest sloop. And he's like, he was already rich, so he's like, yeah, I need to IPO this Netscape and get paid so I can pay for my boat, that kind of thing, right? And so he sat down with her and he said, look, you're not even 30 years old, and I'm going to make you filthy, stinking rich. And he's like, it's going to ruin your life. That's what he said to her. He said, so when you get paid on the IPO, he's like, buy a house, buy a car, buy your parents a house and a car. Great. You don't need anything else. He said, what you want to do is focus on maintaining a career the rest of your adult life. You want to be focused. You want to be interested. You want to grow as a person. You want responsibility. He's like, don't take the money and just go big. So you know what? She did it. She did it. She took $40 million at the age of, I don't know, she was maybe even only 26 or something. She took $40 million and locked it into a trust account that she couldn't touch until she turned 40. Therefore, she was working for me. Okay? And, she had me for a boss, whatever that's like. But the thing is, she was about to get her money. She was hitting that point that it was coming up. And she's like, yeah, well, great. She's making, 80 grand working for me. But she's like, yeah, well, in 2 years, I'm going to have 40 million. But the thing is, by then, it turned into like 300 million. She was so nice. She practically gave me her house. And I ended up not buying it, but it would have been an interesting thing. The commute would have been, it was up in near, it's for those that know the Bay Area. What do you call that? In Marin. It was up in Marin anyways. Can you imagine living in a beautiful house on Marin? She's like, I'll just give it to you. You're a nice guy. Like, she was going to sell it to me for nothing. But she was going to get her 400 million, whatever. She had fallen in love with the dentist. And he was making good money, so they were living okay. And then, she got her money. She quit her job with me, and she moved to the Redwoods in Northern California. And she's the last I heard is like the home was right on the edge of these giant redwoods. But the front of the home was several acres of just open land. So you'd get sun in the morning and shade in the evening, right? And she had like 3 acres to have gardens and everything. And it just like, man, she made it big. And I'm like, that sounded good. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, Darko. I wasn't sure why you sent it to me, though. Did you make it? Okay. Oh, you want some... Okay, so we could do some crypto, sure. I'm concerned that now you're interested in Bitcoin after it moved 10%. But what do you want, Bitcoin or Ethereum? Oh, you said Bitcoin, so we can do that. Okay, let's try to make sense of this. It's so far gone. The next target is 58, almost 59. And after that, I cannot give you any other numbers. So I don't care about where we are, but this last number right here is the end of the road for me. Okay. Okay. So that's the high end. I don't have anything besides that. If I can find that demo, where's my staging site that I had? Where's the staging site for traders? Do I still have it somewhere? Is it this one? Okay, we're on the staging. I can do technicals dark. Okay, this is just the staging site, but this is going to be traders.co. And then I can go to crypto and I can give you a 240-minute chart of Bitcoin. Snip. Let me do a little snippy snip snip. Snippy snip. Just so I can zoom in. This is going to be way better, guys. Hang on. So don't get all upset about how ugly that is. We're going to put that pig in a beautiful dress and put lipstick on her. Hang on. Delete. I'm trying to get this. Why? My drawing tool won't turn off. There we go. All right. And then we'll do a zoom. Okay. What do you think? So you can ask me over and over and over. Yesterday. Oh, this is yesterday. Dude, shut the back door. This is yesterday before the move. Buy it at 54.5 with a target of 62,800. What? Well, now we know it's at 57. We're up $3,000 on this. It's going to take 8 days. 19 hours ago, Traders was updated with this. So, 62, almost 63. Let's call it 63. What the F is up at 63? Yeah, we are close to resistance right now. Yeah, well, not necessarily, no. Why do you see? I don't see any resistance, do you? I see it at 58, almost 59. But why 63? So I want to change my template. Is that an annual? Let's do an annual look. What is going on? Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, God, as Kanye would say. Well, the next one is, I said 63. What did it say? 62,777. 62. Wow. So I disagree. I have 62,236. So I'm my numbers are $500 off traders' numbers. But I'm using different methodology. Interesting. I could not expect more than that. But is this an issue? That is an issue. Yeah. But it told you 19 hours ago this was happening. It recognized this 19 hours ago. And that would have been, it noticed the pop. It noticed the pop. See? Actually, it had it even lower than that. It said at 54, but I bet you had noticed. Interesting. But after the pop, it said up. And up it went. 54. And so what will happen is soon it's going to move the stop to break even. So now it's like, it's really beautiful. Dude, I'm so excited. Dude, I've been working so hard on this. I worked all weekend. I've been working nights and days. Not just on this, though. I've been working on updates for QuantBox. Yeah. Even, so we haven't officially announced FX Bootcamp's rebranding. But we've changed the philosophy around FX Bootcamp to be performance coaching. And I've been working with Ryan to learn and perfect and talk to people that are in the program or have been in the program, learn and address and talk and learn and address and talk. And with the release of TRADARS, we have a really, really, really incredible opportunity for FX Bootcamp to work with you using TRADARS. Imagine this, where you had a performance coach working with you to analyze what TRADARS is analyzing for you. So TRADARS does the technical analysis, and your coach is helping you become a better portfolio manager, but actually trading it. What do you think of this setup that TRADARS gave you? Does it fit your mold? How do you trade it? How do you set it up? Where's the pullback? Where's the target? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Okay? And we're going to, for those that really want to say, look, like how about this? I'm convinced, having done this for 20 years, even if I told you what to trade, 95% of traders are still not going to be successful. How many people would agree with that? If every single day I told you 3 things to trade, you probably still wouldn't be successful. Does anybody agree with that? I'm convinced of it. I think there's something else. I don't think it's the technical analysis that's the problem. I think many of you are convinced it's the problem. If you only knew what to do, you'd do it. But look, I've been doing this for so long. In the early days of FX Bootcamp, 20 years ago, I just told you what to do. I just traded in front of people. And do you know what what happened? It made people worse. It dumbed people down. And it didn't make you success. Okay? So I learned on very, very quickly that that's not what the issue is. It really, truly isn't. That there's a skill of being a trader, and that's what I've always been doing. Yes, well, I'll do Ethereum. Okay? So this is going to be helpful, but having talked to Ryan, and we talked about it, 2 hours yesterday, it's like, oh my God, we have a real opportunity here. Okay, if the burden of doing all the research is taking care of you, The burden of research. You're like, dude, I go through 7,500 charts a day and there's only 22 opportunities. Well, what if we reversed all of that and say, look, you don't have to go through 7,500 charts a day. Why don't we look at the 22 and then work with you as a trader to filter what you agree with and what you disagree based on your bias, and then work with you as a trader of how do you implement the price action. And then there's a miracle breakthrough. Like, oh my God, there's the missing piece. It's not just one teaching how to be a trader, but it's the combining of the two. You have the strategy and the tactics, the strategy and the tactics, the strategy and the tactics. And so FX Bootcamp will become that. And so some of you had tried the new version of FX Bootcamp a couple of months ago, and many people gave me the feedback of like, well, Ryan's doing what I'm doing, but he's doing it in a different way. And there's different, sort of a slightly different methodology, or at least a slightly different way of explaining the technical analysis. And then there's some order flow thing. You're like, I don't know. It seems like something completely different. All right. That's gone. Now it's literally the process of how do you take the research, the technical analysis that traders is offering, and then how do you learn how to trade it? By literally learning how to trade, literally one-on-ones and simulation and trial, your version of trial and error, and then coming back and discussing it in private and in groups, learning how to filter what's already considered good technical analysis. But I know it's not enough. So how do you learn how to trade good technical analysis? And now it's all the focus on the trader aspect, not technical analysis. But how do you trade technical analysis with literally a coach drilling you, and maybe you doing 100 hours of simulation? Do it again. 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 Oh my God. So that's going to happen. Okay? So anyways, amazing. Nutso, right? Yeah, to me, honestly, I think it's the next piece. I can't work with you all day, every day. But we have a coach that will. Okay. Okay, so there was a question about Ethereum. I have an Ethereum chart. Sure. Here's Ethereum. Here's how I look at it. But my technical analysis AI doesn't see a pattern it likes. Oh, Sinan doesn't have any strategies. Oh, well. Keep doing that. Dedication and commitment is a necessary thing. Yeah, honestly, like in FX Bootcamp coaching, remember it's performance coaching. Everyone shows up because they want to be a better trader. So if your coach worked with you for a month, and a lot of that work is like simulation and you trading and reviewing your trading, you trading, reviewing the trading, you trading, reviewing the trading, right? And then simulation. What'll happen is you have the opportunity as someone that wants to improve as a trader to put in 100 hours. I know if it was me, I would put in way more. than 100 hours. Okay? But that's me. So I don't know if you would put in 100 hours. Many people won't. I am certain people will join and say, I want to be a better trader. We'll give you the trades. We'll give you a coach. And many people will still not do the work. Hey, do some demos, trade this period, journal everything you've done, and bring that information back to your coach for a review. No, I won't do it. Forget it. And how do I cure that? What's the cure for the lack of ambition, drive, or desire? I think it might be incurable. Borrowing from yesterday's conversation, socialism. Move to a country in which the government will take care of you. Okay? Sanan, don't join FX Bootcamp. No. Join Investor Bootcamp. It's $88. You watch videos and slowly build up. Okay? Yeah. Anywho, what else going on? So nothing really. The AI says there's nothing going on with Ethereum. It looks like it's hesitating here. If this turns into a bearish engulfing candle, that's actually a reversal pattern, but I don't really trade that way. Okay. I feel like we should get going. We're well into, the day. The markets are open and stuff. Let's do this. Oh, no, it is. No, FX Bootcamp? No, not FX Bootcamp. Investor Bootcamp. No. You don't even know how to trade. What are we supposed to do? It's a performance coach. It's not like... It's not to teach you how to golf. It's to teach you how to win golfing tournaments. Okay? Investor Bootcamp will teach you how to golf. Okay. So anyways, today at Investor Bootcamp, we are doing the week on the street. Day traders and swing traders, we gather together and we are going to read economic reports that I download from the government websites and from the central banks. One of those reports is last week's Fed meeting minutes, and we will read these reports together. We will do the work together. Okay? You will act as if you are a professional institutional investor. I don't think it's going to hurt you. I don't think it's going to ruin what you do. And it might actually be beneficial. And sometimes I make it fun. But I can't promise you that. But at the very least, you will do the work that you're supposed to be doing. So thank you for all that you do. Exciting, wonderful things coming. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Maybe I'll see you at 4 o'clock for the week on the street, huh? Investor Bootcamp.